Wolf Motors again, and a huge thank you for letting us use their lot and use their beautiful F-150 XLT. So this is the 2021 version, 2.7 liter eco boosted, making about 300 plus horsepower, and as you can see, it is quite digitalized. There's a lot of electronics in it, so it's pretty precise on how it runs. And if we come around here, look under here, oil pack in the front, and keep coming around the side. It's got the nice big windows, nice big back window, so it's easy to see out of it. It's not a little tiny thing. There's the leaf suspension. It's got the leaf springs under there, and coming on the back here, it's got a
backup camera.
Yeah, it's got a backup camera. It's got, 4-foot box, short box. So it's not very. The 4-foot box, short box aren't the best at all. So you can see it's got the
Lazy man's tailgate.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You don't have like the old truck and you drop it and
yeah.
And you break it.
Don't have to worry about it falling off while you're releasing the tailgate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
What else we got back here? It's like a
Do have a
seatbelt thing. Yeah,
tow hooks. Yeah. Also have a plug-in for generators and anything you can run off the battery.
And we make our way around to this side. It's pretty much the same. As you can see, it's got
single pipe exhaust.
Nice rims.
What you'd expect from a V6.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look-see-loo at the interior now.
Okay, here we are in the 2021 Ford F-150 XLT Sport. The interior, very nice and modern. Ford really took it over the edge on it. Big old steering wheel, all your cruise control settings, volume, radio, big dash cluster. You can go through different views, your trip, miles per gallon, phone, navigation, towing, all your regular clusters, oil pressure, temp, transmission temp, which is pretty neat. Don't get to see that all the time. And of course, fuel, which we're low on, which also will give you a option to find the nearest gas stations. And of course, tachometer, speedometer, usual. Lots of settings on lights and towing for backup. Very interesting. And one of the cool features of the new F-150 is the shifter. You can click this button, it folds down, and then somehow this is supposed to move forward. Something like that. Oh, this is supposed to be like a fold up. We haven't figured that out yet. We're kind of dumber than the average human, so. But yeah, nice big area for anything you want. Charging USB ports in there as well. Coin holder and phone, whatever, receipts. Got your standard heating options, radio tuning, more chargeability, and even a regular old 12-volt plug-in. That's pretty neat. Of course, 2 high, 4 low, and then of course you can select your different sport modes, economy modes, all that different stuff. And the usual park, reverse, neutral drive. This is a 10-speed automatic, as said before. You can also do M for manual mode, and then you can shift it manually without a clutch though. Yeah, pretty simple. Lots of leg room, big dash. Glove box even is freaking huge. Yeah, crazy. Total seats 5, 2 up front, 3 in the back on the bench seat. Ford went away from the standard ceiling dome light, and now the small lights on the sides and the usual hooks. Yeah, very, very nice features of the truck. A lot of leg room in the back there too, so you could probably fit, not a grown person, but maybe a small grown person back there. Oh, I'm sure you could fit a grown person in there. That's lots of room. Yeah. Cup holders front and back. You gotta have the drinks, Yeah, hazard lights, traction control, phone holder with USB ports. Yeah, everything you'd expect. Anything else?
Little tray up top here, and
Tray for your sunglasses, standard
got
sunglass holder here.
in here, you know, you got the mirror and everything. So if you have a girlfriend or a wife, you know, they can do their makeup while you're driving. You know, that's seen that quite often.
Big if. Heated seats, AC seats, alright? Like, what can get better than that, you know?
Yeah, when you're driving in the summertime, you don't want to hop it and become a roast, and driving in the wintertime, you don't want to hop it and become a popsicle.
Exactly.
What else you got in here? Oh, we got traction control on, off, hazards, whatever that is.
That's cameras.
Oh.
They should have the 360 feature. I'd show you, but they have the film, so I'm not supposed to be touching the thing yet. But there is a 360 feature where you can see your whole car with all the cameras. Cameras in front and rear and a couple side ones. Very nice vehicle. MSRP is around 44 grand. After all features, it gets a little more expensive.
It's about 18 miles per gallon in the city and about 24 on the highway. So for about a combined about 20 miles per gallon. So it's, you know, decent.
Oh yeah, plenty good.
I say we check out the back seat and see how spacious that is. This side doesn't seem to have a seat moved up, but you know what? Hey, it's got an airbag in this side. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Ford has
First,
safety.
kids.
Safety first. Look at that. Ford's better than Chevy. Okay. Not bad. I am kind of tucked up back here, but you know.
I mean, for a little over 6 foot man, I mean, that's not bad at all.
No, I don't hit my head on the ceiling, and I got a good space. I can turn lights on and nope, I can click lights.
Well, you can, but
Yeah.
I don't know why it don't work.
Oh well.
I don't know, there's a button there for something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Maybe because we're not driving. That's probably why.
Maybe.
It'll probably turn off when you're driving.
Yeah. What else we got back? You got, you know, your average window, up, down.
You try doing that, there's ice.
Here, I'm not going to. You got your handle, so if your friend is driving crazy and you don't want to die, you hang on to this.
Certainly.
You know, it won't protect you from a rollover, but it'll protect you somewhat. What else we got over here? That's pretty cool looking design on that. I don't know. You know, it's just Ford kind of went out in this. It's a really fancy interior for under 50 grand. It's a pretty neat looking truck. On a scale of 10, I'd give it a solid 9.8.
Oh, for sure. Perfect workman's truck.
I'd just put an 8-foot box in the back.
Well, you can get them with an 8-foot box. You just
Yeah.
can't get a crew cab.
Yeah, I'd put an 8-foot.
Nothing nowadays comes with an 8-foot box and crew cab. That's huge.
I'd put a single cab with an 8-foot box. That'd be perfect. V8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the new F-150. Once again, thank you, Wolf Motors, for letting us check them out.
Yeah.
And, yeah. All right, now on to the 2019 F-150 Fx4 off-road, just like the one before. Not as knobby of tires, but a person can easily fix that. Leaf springs up front as before. Coil pack up, or leaf springs in the back, coils up front. Disc brakes all around, make it a lot easier. This one is the first one on the list to have the V8 5.0 liter. Very nice. It is flex fuel though, so it's a hybrid.
It's even got a little
Actually,
sliding
this
window.
one's not the hybrid, but you can get it in the hybrid 5.0. Sliding rear window, lighting in the bed, tow hooks in the bed, standard towing bumper.
Does it have the lazy man, you know?
I don't know if it's a lazy man.
Nope.
Nope.
That one
Tailgate.
that one you drop down, it's
It's
dumping.
slam.
Yeah. It ain't, you know, no. It ain't no soft
Comes
one.
with a bed liner, which is very nice. Avoid scratching up the bed.
It is already scratched up a little bit in the bed here, which means it was used. Oh well. Nice chrome
Yeah,
rims.
real nice.
6-foot box. Oh, I like this.
Oh, yeah. Different. This one they went with different front end. Got the different style headlights up front. Real solid truck.
This is a big surprise. This one, spitting black smoke. That's not good. Black smoke means it's burning oil. This is the twin turbo version V6, and so it is, surprisingly, it is a bit quieter than the other one. But you know what? My opinion, This thing's cooler. By far. I love it.
2014, by the way.
Yes, this is a 2014 F-4 off-road version. As you can see, it's got the luggy tires, you know, it's got the beautiful lugs there so you can go off-road and hopefully not get stuck. But you know what, kind of will.
Pretty cool stripe going down.
Ooh, you can see that. It's all blended in. It is gives it a bit more sporty look. Here's quite neat. Yeah. This does have the EcoBoosted V6 twin turbo. The one on that side, one on that side for more power, which means probably got 350 plus. So it's not slow. It's pretty quick. It is pretty quiet though compared to the last one. Let's come down to here. So over here, again we get met with these beautiful tires and nice rims. There you go, powder black, flat black.
Alright, so interior of the 2014 Fx4. Bigger steering wheel than the styles before it. Bigger dash cluster, bigger screen. You know, every year you get bigger and better.
Yes,
Texas,
you do.
Baby. This one has actually one more selection than the older styles. Usually it was just park, reverse, neutral, drive, 2-1. Now it's got an M for manual, so you can click the levers and go through the gears yourself. Standard radio, all your different selectors, bunch of heat options. Very nice interior. You do have trailer braking, even though it's just an F-150. Usually only the 250s higher had that, but these years they did give it. 2 high, 4 low. You can lock up your rear diff even. That's impressive, as it is an off-road package. And then up here you got your traction control on and off. Something to do with you going down hills and stuff, probably some type of locker.
Well, that's so, you know, yeah.
Big, lot of speakers. Got a Sony sound system. Big speakers in the panels. One's up here. Pretty neat. Black and red stitched interior seating.
Moonroof.
Very nice.
Moonroof, whatever.
Sunroof. Real nice. Automatic too. You just click the button and it goes.
So if you got a big dog like me, it can stick its head out the top there when you drive down the road.
Exactly. Sunglasses area there. Of course, regular like all vehicles.
That's a taco
here.
holder.
Definitely.
Your garage door opener, you just got to program it in there.
Yep.
Which is quite neat, actually.
Of course, mirrors. Little mirrors though, but you know.
Itty mirrors with little lights.
It's a truck.
Yeah. Still, your girlfriend can do their makeup in it.
You got 12-volt plug in there.
Yep. A little slide in here for holding, you know, coins or whatever.
Yep. Still pretty big.
Like
with USB plugins as well.
And an MP3 player, I don't know if anybody even knows what those are anymore, but it's got a holder for that. And for a cell phone.
That's awesome. Yeah, very, very nice truck.
Back seat actually flips up so you get some more room back there, but you know.
With more Sony system, baby.
Yeah.
It got all the bells and whistles.
This is gonna be a stumping truck. It's even got the sliding rear window, I say. It's just a little one.
Oh, I suppose not allowed to copyright music.
Yeah. Well, backseat again. Actually,
I don't know about that.
Oh.
I'd say just leave it.
Okay.
You don't need to go in the back seat.
It is a nice. Yeah, it'll fit a grown adult, maybe. Yeah, it will. Headspace up front here is, you know, actually I'm hitting my head.
Very nice.
Nice, guys, under the sunroof here. This corner here, I hit my head on, so it is quite low. 8 made for 6 foot plus, unless you open this and you stick your head up the top. You can see that way. It's like the giant people driving Mini Coopers. All right, so that pretty much covers the F-150
2014.
2014.
So next up on our list is the new body style for it, I guess. Some people call it bubble body because it's kind of a bubble, whatever. But this style ran from 1997 to about 2002. This one is a 2001 XLT. It is a crew cab. I also got a topper on it. This one's running the 5.4 liter Triton V8. The other option would be a 4.6, which is a little smaller, but they both make plenty of power. A lot of options for both engines. 4-wheel drive, you can get them in 2-wheel, but not as common as 4-wheel drive. Just a simple crew cab pickup, very nice. Got the, why they call it new body styles, because they kind of got away from the square of the old ages.
Got more like, you know, round headlights, tail lights, rounder headlights, all that. Hitch, 7-point towing plug-in, like most vehicles nowadays come factory with. Yeah, real nice. Now we're gonna fire her up. Plenty of power there. And let's go for a quick drive, I suppose. Nice heat, AC, but we really need the heat right now because it's freaking 26 degrees, feels like 10. It's cold out. Got your garage door opener. Oh, this is my sunglasses. Then garage door up here. Dome light, headlights. Does come with fog lights underneath. Very nice. Does come with tachometer, which is very cool considering most of the pickups in the 90s, some had them, most didn't, and then everything before that had no tachometer. Middle console's plenty small, can fold up to allow for a third person, so it's six seats total. Or 8 if you want to get real roomy. Shining. Yeah. Suspension's pretty decent, you know. Really good considering, you know, it's 2001, so it's 20 years old. So you can't really ask for much more than that. Plenty get up and go. You're on snow, so it's not really going to show it, but yeah. Do have 2 plugins for power and everything. I don't know why we're plugging it. Cup holders in the front, cup holders in the middle console. There is a drop down in the back, cup holders down there. So everyone's happy with cup holders. Do have a plug-in back there for electricity, power, whatever. Yeah, yourself and be like, wow, I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? Brody be looking like, what a sexy guy.
Yep.
As you see, barely at 2,000 RPMs, and I just did a donut, so plenty of power there. Runs a little under 300 horsepower, about 320 torque, somewhere around there. Real nice. Plenty of heating options. You got your panel, your floor, defrost, floor and defrost. AC's got AC and max AC. 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. It all good. It is a 4-speed with overdrive, so if you're towing, 5-speed keeps making it shift a bunch. Click the button here, boom, you're in 4-speed now. Very, very solid and nice truck.
Started.
Alright, so next we're looking at the OBS gear of the Ford. This ran from 1993 to an F-150 style from 93 to 96. F-250 and 350 ran to 97. Now let's take a look underneath the hoods. Now this is the 6-cylinder inline, the 4.9 liter or 300 cubic inch, and it's all its glory. It has ABS braking. These have a Ford 8.8 in the rear and independent front suspension on this one. Mine is not. It's different, modified, special. Now here's the V8 version. Either has the 5.0 or this one has the 5.8 Windsor or 351 Windsor. Both are fuel injected. Also ABS braking. Same axle in the rear. This one's cleaner because it's more street. Very clean. Now let's take a look at the knee. Now let's take it for a spin.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Now this does have heat and AC. Right now the heat is on. We'll turn that down a little bit right now. And let's quickly go for a little cruise. Suspension's very soft. You barely feel any of the bumps. Now this is a two-wheel drive compared to the Stax is a four-wheel drive. So this one's gonna have a little nicer ride because the suspension to worry about. Now it does have low beam and high beam headlights. Very, very nice ride. Barely feel it at all. And it does get up and go a little bit. And this one does have a camper topper, or topper, whatever you want to say, so you can store more stuff in the back of your box and protect it from the elements. Very nice feature. And go ahead and turn around here soon. Very nice brakes, practically instant stop on a dime. And as you can see right here, goes over bumps like it's nothing, and then plenty of power to get up and go again. And this is the Xlt package. It is the biggest package you can get in these style years of the OBS Ford. And this is also dual tanks. Currently we're running off the front. All you gotta do is click the switch and you switch to your rear tank. Very simple and easy. Eliminates the hassle of worrying about fueling up constantly. Alright, so now we're looking at the brick nose. This style ran from 1988 to 1992. Came with various engines, starting with the
Straight 6 300, which is the smallest you could go for straight 6. That's the biggest you could go for straight 6. It has not much horsepower, but is quite torquey, coming around at about 175 for torque and only about 115 for horsepower. They are good pullers, but not very good on gas mileage. If you want a gas efficient or fuel efficient vehicle, don't buy a straight 6.
Well, anyways, so now let's look at the V8. Here we got, now this is not the biggest you can go. This is the smallest V8. This is the 5.0, just as the other truck. And it is fuel injected currently. It is also for braking system. We have ABS, suspension, we got independent front suspension and leaf springs in the back. This is the Xlt Lariat. This is the highest you can go. What? This one has the chrome big mirrors, and it's got the little tiny baby mirrors. I don't know why. Alrighty, so shall we start them up? Brody, are the keys in your truck? Brody, stop. Alright, so here is the really quiet, not much to hear. Here's to tell you it's revving. It's a little louder as time goes on. Oh. Alright, so now, let's see what the V8 sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Some of the things it came with. This one, unlike the styles before, it actually comes with a tachometer, as you can see. Shows the RPMs, the rotations per minute that the truck is running. In fact, we'll go ahead and slow down so that you can really get a clear, crisp picture. Speedometer, fuel, temperature, battery. Would have oil pressure, but I got an aftermarket one in here. It originally came with cassette only CD play, or cassette only AM and FM radio, but I upgraded. AC and heat all around. You can see all the vents scattered around the truck. Can you shut that door?
Oh, right.
And this one is 4-wheel drive, unlike the blue one from earlier, is only 2-wheel drive. Now, the straight 6 came with, for the automatics, only had 3 speeds, whereas the V8s have 4 speeds with overdrive, which pretty much is always a 5-speed, but you get a button, and you click the button, it'll take it out of overdrive, and you only have 4 speeds, which is meant for towing, and that's really it, unless you want to just, for some reason, drive only 4. So, let's go ahead and turn around right here. Yeah, so very nice roomy interior for a bench seat. And there goes the hood. And as I said earlier, this is the Xlt Lariat highest trim package. You get all the chrome, all the bells and whistles for power, everything. Very nice. This also has an aftermarket, which you can get, towing package, which includes airbags, which you inflate for towing. That way you get less stuff on the suspension, you know. This does have power windows and power locks, unlike the earlier one, the straight 6, which is an 88. This is a 90. That came with manual crank, so you gotta crank it down, and manual locks. You can only use the key to unlock it. But otherwise, very solid trucks. And they called it a brick nose because pretty much the whole front end is just flat. It's like a brick. And I'd like to say it's strong as brick too, because these are very durable trucks.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. That's enough. I think it's had. Okay, now you're just making a mess. Okay. Okay. So here is the bull nose style Ford, because you know the top grill is kind of heavy up top because you know bull horns. So this ran from 1980 to 1987. This model is the F-150 XL, as you can see, missing the tag. And this one came with independent front suspension, leaf springs in the back. Right here we got the Ford fuel-injected 5.0 liter V8, or 302 cubic inches. And this one is 4-wheel drive and an automatic. Here in the interior,
Oh yeah, okay.
pretty nice interior,
Oh, yeah.
you know. Bench seat up front. This is an extended cab, so it's got 2 little seats on each side, as you can see over there. Yep, right there. And then the dash is simple.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the interior we got speedometer, no tachometer sadly. They didn't come out until like the 90s when they started being in vehicles. We got the fuel, oil, temp, and battery gauge right there. This model does not have a airbag. They didn't really have airbags until the early 80s or early 90s. And here we got cruise control. Got an AM, FM radio. Here's the badge XL, so you know what style it is. Does have heat and AC. It has dual tanks, which is the selectors right here. Glove box has plenty of room. Vents all around. I wouldn't open that. Good old rear view mirror, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, shifter for 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. Ignore that. And Marcus is showing the seat in the back, kind of. 07 F-250. Very tough suspension, doesn't really like bumps, but oh well. This is the 4-speed manual. It does come with a 3-speed or I think even 4-speed automatic. Doesn't like 4th gear.
It's old, what do you expect? Old ones are usually more stubborn. It's like people.
Shall we talk about the outside?
No door handle. Pull the window down. Yeah.
So we already talked about this, but there's probably 1 or 2 words that can't be said on YouTube. So we're going to talk about them again. So it's 1977 Ford. Pretty much all the styles the same. Different grill styles was the only difference. Called the dent side because of the big dent in the side of the truck. Body line, whatever.
Beauty
Looks
line.
beauty. Yeah, beauty line. This one is a Ford 360 FE. Had many engines of these styles. These came from 2 straight 6 options, the 3.9 and a 4.9. V8s started with the small blocks with a 302, 351 Windsor, 351 Cleveland, and a 351 modified. Then got the 360 and the 390. Then big block came around. You got the 400M, 428, 29, and the 460, which was the biggest option, which back then stock was around 240 horsepower, which nowadays ain't much, but back then, oh, that was a lot of power. Yeah, very nice. This one is 4-wheel drive. Besides, you know, the drive shaft is kind of
Wiggly.
but still 4-wheel drive. Very, very nice.
As you can see, aftermarket tax, aftermarket temp gauge, oil gauge, and battery volt gauge. As up here, the only thing that works is the fuel gauge. Everything else, you know, this isn't a road vehicle. This is meant for mud. So, not really anything working. But the good thing that does work, the heat does work, and that has came in so handy. And the seats, back in the day, they knew how to build a seat. The bench seats are much more comfortable than anything you'll ever find today.
Yes, sir.
And that back is comfy too.
Yeah, very nice back seat.
Yes.
Famous.
From the classes.
Yeah.
Quite comfy.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Backseat baby.
Yeah. Also, one more thing that I do like about this. It's got the clearance lights on top, and they do work. Maybe one doesn't, but they work and they look sick. Yep, one don't work. The front lights do. Imagine that coming at you in the dark. That look mean. Sit there and idle, we'll have that coming at you. Alright. Perfect. We're back. We have Nathaniel from, what's your podcast?
The Old Games, New School podcast. We explain stuff about games. We even talk about our favorite games a lot of the time, like an extreme amount of the time. But we discuss the intricacies of games and what makes them games. We're also, with our first episode, talking about the first original video game, where it's an arcade game. But if you want to check that out, it's the Old Games New School podcast on Spotify.
So if you're interested in that, check out his his platform, his gaming channel, a podcast. Interesting. All right, now let's get into the video. So I'm going to ask him a few questions and show him a few pictures about some of the F series, and he's going to say what one is his favorite, and then from there we're going to explain more on that generation. Now mind you, there was 14 generations, so there is going to be quite a few. So we're starting off with the first generation, which was started in 1948 to 1952, and that was called the F1, and that was all they had offered, a half-ton, and that was followed by the F2 and the F3, came with the inline 6 or V8. And we came to the second gen, which was a 53 to 56, which, you know, it was a pretty nice truck. That was the F100, not the F150 quite yet. That was later in the generations. And they redesigned the truck to have a longer hood and a more integrated body panels, and separated from the post-war F1, which, you know, I think they did quite a good job. And then we came to the third gen, which was from 57 to 60, only 3 years, but then at the end of that, it was, introduced the slick 60s, which was, I do like those, one of my favorites. Then we got the fourth generation of 61 to 66, which actually lasted, you know, 5 years, so it wasn't bad. That was a unibody type design, and the cabin bed was a single component, so it's not like now to where, you know, the cab and the bed are separated. It was all integrated into one. Then move on to the fifth gen, the 67 to 72, which, yeah, you know, longer beds, a bit more, they're not as bubbly, they're a bit more square, so they are a bit kind of, they have their own, you know, coolness to them, I guess I'd say. So, you know, they're quite interesting. Now the sixth gen from 73 to 79, and now that model was introduced in 75 as Ford's heavy-duty half-ton pickup. Yeah, that was their heavy-duty, so that was something you could buy. You could bring it to a job site, bring it to work, you bring it, you know, if you have a farm, you bring it to a farm. Now we move on to the seventh gen from 80 to 86. Yeah, body style wasn't really, that's not really my favorite body style, but it was already had cemented itself as the best-selling truck, so they did something right back in 80 to 86, which was 6 years, so they had, you know, Ford sold a lot of them because Ford is the best. Then move on to the eighth gen from 87 to 91, which lasted about 4 years, and so, you know, they adopted the rounder edges and a softer body line starting in 87. Power was returning under the hood with 210 horsepower, available with an optional 5.8 liter V8. Anti-lock brakes and rear wheels appeared in the F series for the first time as well. You know, and then the ninth gen from 92 to 97, which was only 5 years. Yeah, it was an even rounder design, so as you can see, as they keep going up, they seem to get away from the square body designs into the more rounder, more fuel efficient. Now that one introduced the performance-oriented SVT F-150 Lightning in 93, which was Ford's sport truck, I guess you could say. That featured a tuned suspension and a 240 horsepower version of a 5.8 liter. Now, by today's standards, that's not, you know, the best, but by the standards back then, that was a lot of horsepower, so it was pretty good. Move on to the 10th gen from 97 to 04. That one is more rounder. It's unique that its previous generation body style actually carried over the F-250 and the F-350 models, and so, you know, that's pretty interesting. You know how Ford integrated all that. And now this also marks the separation of the body styles between F-150 and heavy-duty variants, with the F-250 and F-350 adopting the notched side windows design that still exits the F-Series today. So, you know, they had the little ones and the big ones. Move on to the 11th gen from 05 to 08, which only 3 years. You know, but it was bigger and bulkier in 05, you know, borrowed more designs and cues from the Super Duty trucks. Some luxury components for the truck, you know, were in full effect with the introduction of the King Ranch model. The new box frame meant the truck could haul and tow bigger loads, so this one was kind of an upgrade for an F-150 here, F-250 in a way, so like the tow package and everything. Now moving to the 12th gen from 09 to 14, which was about 5 years. It had minor redesigns from the previous generation. You know, that era will be forever remembered. It's the birth of the SVT Raptor off-roader. So that was Ford's off-road, or more meant for off-road vehicle for their truck. The Raptor was designed to sprint down rough trails instead of, you know, crawling over them, being kind of slow and like a pavement princess. Now, the 13th gen was from 15 to 20, which was 5 years, so some of the newer ones. But the major update that came for the F-150 in 2015 was not included in the profile use of aluminum to its body to reduce vehicle weight. So they went from, you know, steel and heavy-duty metal down to aluminum, which is cheaper and lighter, so better fuel efficient, and it's cheaper to make, so it's cheaper for the consumer to buy. Now we finally get to the 14th gen, which is 2021 to however long this decides to keep going. And the story for this current generation is still being written because it's not, you know, totally done yet. So that was. So what was your favorite year? Your favorite generation?
I was looking more at the third, fourth generations. I was really straying away from the 10th generation, because that one kind of looks like someone like took a hammer to the front and really like sloped it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you go down to that picture,
The 10th generation. That one.
Look at that. It looks like someone just bent the entire front down, right?
Yeah, when they first came out, they weren't very popular. People thought they were ugly, but you know what? It's a 10th generation. They tried. But
But I really like the square bodies. I think my grandpa has a third generation, but I'm pretty sure it's painted like that fourth generation down there.
So the third generation ran from 57 to 60, and that had and the cab was larger. And for some of the off-roaders, four-wheel drive was introduced as an option for the first time. So that is kind of interesting, kind of unique for the first time in 57 to 60. Four-wheel drive was offered, and then the fourth gen from 61 to 66, which had also, you know, they had the unibody type design. It didn't last long, but the twin I-beam front suspension did introduce, would help Ford for decades. The power steering and brakes also became optional items, making the pickup much easier for everyday driving. So that was more of your daily driver. If you wanted to, you know, buy a F-150 that was, or pickup truck that was more of a daily, buy your 61 to 66 Ford F-150. So thanks for Nathaniel for joining us on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So check out his podcast.
It's the Old Games New School podcast.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.